Theme of the day continues, hockey and Canada Day. Resplendent, as always, on his back deck in Mississauga. Here's Don Cherry. Don't get to see you with the hat on very often. What's the story there?
Well, it's a beautiful hat. Chris gave it to me, the cameraman, and I'm going to wear it down with Greg's on and have some fun with it. I think it looks Canada Day all the way.
You obviously don't need an anniversary as important as Canada 150 to celebrate Canada Day. So just your thoughts on this day, July 1st.
Well, I'll tell you, when I think of it, I always think, and I've told Joe Warmington and I've told everybody, I think of a Remembrance Day. I think of all the guys that went overseas and fought and did not come back. I think of the policemen. I think of the firemen. I think of people like that that really work for Canada, and they're in my thoughts all the time.
Yeah, there's a great gathering earlier today on Juno Beach as well, with that beautiful monument that Canada's put up. Last couple of weeks has featured a lot of news, Don. One being Connor McDavid, and Elliot Friedman's been reporting $13+ million over 8 years. Could you ever have imagined that kind of salary, especially after we went through the last season and now the salary cap?
Well, I got to tell you, a lot of people give it to Gary Burt all the time. Bettman, he gets it. Gets booed after a game, and you know, they win the cup and everything. But I have to say something, that the players are making $13.5. I mean, I know all of them aren't making $13.5, but I know guys that are getting 15 goals are making $4.5. So I'm happy. I remember it was always the owners all the time. We did all the work in the American League. They go up. He still wouldn't make any money. When Gordie Howe was making like $10,000, the greatest hockey player in the world at the time. So I think it's great. I think it's, I love it. I'm not one of those guys that, you know, feel bad that the, you know, the players are making today. No way. I'm happy. 13 million, boy, 13 million 5. By the way, Bobby Orr's his agent. I just thought I'd throw that in.
Yeah, so excellence, breeding excellence there. But $15 million is the max that you can earn. Any worry about one player taking up too much of the pie, though?
Well, again, all you have to do is look at Chicago. I mean, I'm not knocking Bowman and that, but when you got Taves, and I'm not saying they don't, 10 million, and Kane, I mean, the other guys, you got to let guys go to be some of that. And I don't know, Datsel's coming up too, and he's not going to, he won't get 13.5, but he'll get a lot, and two guys are going to take up the lion's share. So this, you know, this day, the way it works now, you got to get rid of guys that it's too bad that when you see guys go and guys get put off the club, they've been there for 6 or 7 years. But what are you going to do when but two guys are getting all the money? Yeah, and I don't blame the guys getting all the money. Get away you can.
You bring up Chicago. Patrick Kane, Patrick from Chicago, was on our last show on Hockey Central at noon yesterday, and I apologize. We didn't have you on enough this year. We'll fix that next year. Yeah.
All right, I'd be happy to come on. And Patrick Kane, he's like your fixture. He's the guy that comes on all the time. Good guy.
He's a good guy, Bob the Builder. So what else has caught your attention over the last couple of weeks as we work through the draft, the expansion process, and now into free agency?
Well, the one thing that I don't understand, I understand everything. Listen, you have to do what you have to do when you're general manager. But the one thing I don't understand is Marc Methot. Why would they ever let him go? He's from Ottawa. He played 5 years with Karlsson. Karlsson in the playoffs, I thought, was the best defenseman. Every time he'd do his little rover act in the other end, Methot was back covering him up. And the job Mark did on Crosby, I mean, that was next to brutal. I think that's why they went out and got Reeves, because of Methot. He had him, and I really do believe that Crosby, the first 2 games in the finals, he didn't have anything to tank because of Methot. Now, he comes from Ottawa, not making a lot of dough. When you take a guy like him away from Karlsson, you have to be very careful. Karlsson's going to have a lot tougher time. Because once he pinches and he's not covered up, the next time he's going to hesitate, and you know what happens when the guy hesitates pinching. They had a beautiful thing going there. I think they were the 2 best defensemen in the playoffs, and they let him go. I know, Phaneuf and everything wouldn't take his trade, but there had to be a way not to lose Methot, and I think they're going to pay a big price next year because of that.
Well, I thought Marc Methot was excellent on the noon show this week when he said that he didn't hold it against Dion for not waiving his no-trade clause, and that they're still friends. But boy, that puts them in a tough spot, doesn't it?
Well, listen, it's a dog-eat-dog world, as everybody knows, and make it while you can, because I think the average life of a guy in the National Hockey League is 5 years. So I don't blame Phaneuf. Why should he go? I think the fans should love Phaneuf. He says he wants to stay in Ottawa. He wants to stay in Canada with our taxes. So I think they should not hold anything against him. I think they should applaud him. So I don't blame Phaneuf if he wants to stay there, and I don't know if he's going to stay there the whole time. But hey, he loves Canada. Good for him.
And as do you as well. Enjoy the ball game. I know you're heading down to Rogers Centre with Greg's on Jamie Campbell, and it'll be full Canadiana there. And I love the hat. You should wear it more often.
All right, it's Chris's hat, and I'll wear it down there for sure. Thanks a lot, Daren.